Turn Etsy offsite ads off. Please turn them off. If you're a new seller and if you're not making over $10,000 a year, turn Etsy offsite ads off. Do it now. Listen to the Etsy consultant, listen to me, and I'll tell you why in this video, right? And so just breaking it down a little bit. So Etsy has an ad platform on Etsy has like a Etsy ad platform on their site, right? Where you can pay for ads to get higher SEO, to get more in front of more people. And what offsite ads are is ads that Etsy launches out to like Google, Facebook, Pinterest, and other places. And if somebody buys a product via an offsite ad, there's an extra fee to it. And that fee gets added on to the total order. And so depending on what the order is, the shipping, the fees that Etsy's taking could make you end up negative on that order fulfilled, right? So turn them off, please. And let me be the example from my own experience as a novice, new Etsy seller. I follow the Etsy consultant. He's really smart. He knows what he's doing. I love his videos. And way back when, I should have listened when he said turn Etsy offsite ads off. And I didn't really listen, not because I didn't believe him. I just didn't think it would be that important since I haven't really sold much. I'm trying to get my store out there, and advertising to help at least get my store to say, hey, I'm here. But I finally turned it off because I got hit over the head essentially. And before I bring up that example, I want to explain what Etsy ads, offsite ads are a little bit. And so, is there a fee if someone purchases an item through an offsite ad? The offsite advertising fee depends on the revenue you've made on Etsy in the past 365 days. If your Etsy shop made less than $10,000 USD, you'll be charged 15% fee for an order attributed to an offsite ad on the amount you've made from your sale before the advertising fee was applied. If your Etsy shop made at least $10,000 USD, you'll get a discount fee of 12%. And if you make over $10,000, you have to be in it regardless. Like there's going to be Etsy offsite ads regardless. So keep that in mind. If you want to grow your store, you're going to have to pay the piper eventually for offsite ads. The offsite advertising fee for an order will never exceed $100 USD, regardless of the order total for an order attributed to an offsite ad. Marketing cost, so it's 12% if it's over the 10,000, 15% if it's under. I'm not making 10,000 annual on Etsy, so I just turned them off. I don't have to worry about that for a long time. So this is how Etsy offsite ads hit me over the head, and they took my money. And when it first happened, I was saying Etsy offsite ads are a scam, which I kind of believe. If it's not a scam and if it's in the fine print, I still do think it is it's not really well planned out what Etsy's doing, because there's a lot of things in place. So it might not be a scam, but it is disingenuous in how they have set it up, in my opinion, because it messes up how people are going to sell moving forward and how I'm selling moving forward. So I had an international order for about $25. It was going to the UK. Now, obviously, since it's an international order, you only have a couple options for shipping, and they're all expensive. So the shipping costs, it was high for USPS Priority Express International Mail. That's what you have to pay, regardless. The person wanted the book, they have to pay the price, right? And so the shipping costs for that book was $88.68. Okay, that was the postage. That's what they paid. because I don't pay for shipping. That's what they paid on top. So the buyer paid all in total, the 88 and the 25 with other fees and such, right? So it was $113.85 total order. And so the marketing cost comes because it was an offsite ad fee, right? So it was an offsite ad fee. So it was $17.08 because they're taking the 15 on top off top with the buyer paid of 113. And so remember, the buyer paid 113. He paid for the shipping all in. I still have to pay after he paid because he already paid it. I have to pay for the shipping cost too on the back end. So like technically it evens out, but the buyer front loads me the money so I can pay the shipping. And so look at this, right? So we have shipping costs of 88, and then you have marketing costs for offsite ad fees before Etsy's fees of 17, right? Insane. So let's just take this, right? So you have 88 and 17, right? So you have that's 95, that's 105. So that's 105 in shipping costs and offsite ad fees before we get in their fees and credits for Etsy, right? So then we have 1107 and their typical fees and credits. Their transaction fee is $7 and $3 for a payment processing fee, right? So look, we have 105 in shipping costs and marketing costs, right? 105, and then we have the fees. So that's what that's 116, right? So that's 116. The buyer paid 113. And so I lost $2.98 on this order. And I was furious at the time. And, I did the chat with Etsy and they said, hey, it is what it is. It's based off the total order of the sale. So for me to fulfill an international order, I had to pay to do it. I had to pay $3 to do so. So that opened my eyes. I turned off Etsy ads. I turned off Etsy offsite ads. I don't really use ads in general. I am an Etsy Plus subscriber, so I do get $5 of ads a month, and I do get some free credits for listings. But I turned them off. I turned the Etsy offsite ads off expeditiously and immediately. Don't do it. If you're not making over $10,000 annually, don't do it. It's just not worth it. And I did make another sale with offsite ads as well. It wasn't as bad, but still, it makes a difference. So the buyer paid $33.21. It was like a $25 book, right? Offsite ad fee was $4.59, and then the regular fees and credits of $6. So shoot, man, I mean, $10 in marketing fees and credits, and then shipping. So I earned $18.44 on that order, but it still played a role. They're taking off quite a bit. And so, I think their Etsy's fee is like 8% all in, 9%. So it's 9%, 15%. That's 24% if you use Etsy offsite ads that they're taking off the top. It's not worth it. And so this puts us back to what am I doing moving forward with all this in mind, and what I would advise you to do. I'm not the Etsy consultant. I'm not an expert. I'm really new at this still, but this is what I am doing moving forward because I turned Etsy offsite ads off. 1, no offsite ads before 10K in annual sales. One day I do plan to make more than $10,000 in annual sales on Etsy, right? I do have goals like that. But when I get to that point, which is number 2, is after 10,000 in annual sales, no international orders or no heavy, expensive domestic shipping on cheap products. And so this is where this is where the chessboard comes into play. To counteract that, so say if I'm at 8,000 in annual sales on Etsy, right? and that's including international orders and such. Say I get to 9,000. I'm probably cutting off international orders then to get more runway moving forward on domestic sales, because most Etsy buyers are on domestically anyway, and so that gives me more leeway to keep Etsy offsite ads off. So essentially, even before I get to the 10K annual sale mark, I'm turning off international orders, and I'm not doing any more heavy, expensive domestic shipping or cheap products. I'm doing both those now because I'm not getting hit with the Etsy offsite ad fees. But when I get close to that mark, I'm changing it. And this is something you need to keep in mind now. It's really not worth it when you get to that point. No international orders, no heavy, expensive domestic shipping on cheap products for Etsy offsite ads when you get forced to do it. And like I said, I'm turning international orders off before reaching 10K annual sales. So this is my game plan moving forward for Etsy. I wanted to come this a little bit more level-headed. In my community, Paper Gold, I was saying Etsy is a scam, or Etsy offsite ads is a scam. I still do believe Etsy offsite ads and its fees and how it's set up is kind of scammy, is kind of disingenuous. They can say what they want on, the fine print, what total order, yada, yada, yada. But I think they do need to make changes for that because it's hurting international sales. And some people aren't going to list certain things because of that. So if you felt that this video was educational, you learned something from it, and you're going to make adjustments to your Etsy store from this, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. Check out my link in the description in the comment section to join my other YouTube channels as well. I'm always producing content. I'm growing this channel, and make sure to stick around for more updates with my store and what type of strategies I am implementing on Etsy.